Hi, I'm Virginia, Head of Solutions Engineering here at TeamOhana and your local TeamOhana computer expert. If this is your first time learning about the TeamOhana computer, you can think of it as a digital coworker that can not only answer your questions directly in a chat, whether that's in our Surface, which you're seeing on the screen here, or directly in Slack, but you can also use it to build interactive dashboards and apps, make slide decks, and even take actions on your behalf. In this session, we're going to do exactly that. We're going to ask a simple question about recruiter capacity, and then we're going to actually go ahead and assign recruiters based on those results. Ops leaders need to understand recruiter capacity in order to ensure that the workload is balanced across their team. So let's start simple, and I'll introduce complexity as we go. I'm going to start just by asking the system to show me all open headcount with a target start date in the next 90 days that don't have a recruiter already assigned. So you can imagine in this situation, I'm a TA ops lead, and essentially I want to go in and start assigning recruiters for my next set of roles. All right. And so you'll see just within our chat here, the system is going to give me an answer. Here I can see I have 16 open headcounts with a target start date in the next 90 days and no recruiters assigned. It's also going to give me some insights, such as highlighting the headcount that are the most urgent because they have a target start date in September. So they're already flagged at risk. So I really need to make sure that I assign a recruiter to them as soon as possible. Now I'm going to ask the computer a follow-up question. Okay, I know I have all of these open headcount that I want to assign. I'm going to ask it, which recruiters should I assign based on their capacity and what they specialize in recruiting? Now the computer is going to look across all of my recruiters that I have actively working in TeamOhana, looking at the type of headcount that each of them have hired in the past, and also assessing the number of headcount assigned to each one of them in order to give me an analysis on which would be the best recruiters to assign these open headcount to based on their current workload. While the computer thinks, let's go ahead and take a look at one of these headcounts, this TOH261. In our recruiting workboard, just to show you, this is the headcount ID that the computer was pulling. And you can see right now that there's no recruiter assigned and the target start date is in September. So the system is flagging that we're already at risk. So I need to assign a recruiter today. So now that the computer is showing me my current recruiter load, how many open recs each recruiter is working on, and then making some recommended assignments. Based on all of our open headcount within the next 90 days that don't have a recruiter, it's recommending we assign these particular recruiters. So it looks like we have Adia assigned to some, Aaron to some, and a good mix here. Also giving me feedback about what each of my recruiters' active load will be. And then two more updates here. I need to assign these 3 headcount first, and there's just some other data that I need to add to these headcounts. I want to make sure that we prioritize these 3 headcounts. So let me just tell the computer to go ahead and assign the recommended recruiters. We're going to assign the recommended recruiters for our top priority headcounts here. While I do that, let's just go make a note here of the recommended recruiters. So for 261, it was Adia. And then what the computer is going to do, it's going to give me a confirmation. So anytime we ask the computer to actually take an action in the system, it's going to do a dry run for me just to confirm that we're on the same page about exactly what it's about to update. And if everything looks good to me, which it does, I can go ahead and click apply. And once we do that, Adia is going to be assigned to our 261 here, and as well to our 449, and then Aaron to our 421. So let's go ahead and apply. Okay, perfect. So now that action is done. So if we come back into our recruiting workboard and we refresh, I'll search back up my headcount 261 again. Now you can see that Adia has been assigned as the recruiter. And anytime an action is taken using the TeamOhana computer, we're going to record that in your change history, just like we always do. But now it's also logging that I took this action, I assigned the recruiter via the TeamOhana computer. So you can always differentiate between when actions were taken directly within the app versus through the AI agent. Great. And that concludes our demo on how to assess recruiter capacity and assign recruiters in TeamOhana. Now, if you're interested in more longer-term recruiter capacity planning, definitely check out our next video where we actually build an interactive app that takes in all of your data from TeamOhana as well as additional inputs around how you calculate recruiter capacity in order to build a customized model. Also, if you're curious about learning more about other actions the computer can take, be sure to take out our other videos where we do things like up-level a role or change the target start dates. Thanks for watching and see you next time.